Give us an idea as to what happened with your client in court, Mr. Fullerton.
Okay. This morning he was brought to court after having been picked up on Friday, arrested and charged on Friday. He was brought to court this morning, and he was granted bail in the sum of $10,000 on both sets of counts. There are two sets of counts of forgery and uttering, and so he was granted bail in the sum of $10,000 on one charge. Ms. Anika Johnson and Mr. Teddy St. Louis appeared this morning. All appeared on his behalf.
Did he give any reason as to why he conducted the transaction or the act?
Why he conducted the act? No. He's charged. We have requested disclosure from the prosecution, and we expect before the matter resumes on the next occasion, we will have full disclosure of the relevant documents, and will be able to properly conduct the defense once the documents are disclosed.
How strong will your defense be against prosecution?
Well, we don't know what the prosecution's case, we know what the charges are, and that's the purpose of disclosure, to get the relevant documents, and after perusal of those documents, then we will be in a position to deal effectively with the defense. But right now we have no documents. In fact, there was only one witness present in court today, and we expect that there will be other witnesses apart from those named on the charge sheet. So the prosecution between now and June would have ample time to get the case together and disclose those documents to us. I think one concern, though, that we all have, and that I must express, is that Mr. Fullerton was arrested on Friday. In fact, he has cooperated throughout with this exercise after learning that there was the possibility of charges being laid against him. He flew back to the country from the United States, was here since the 23rd of March, I believe, and he was awaiting the call whenever convenient to the prosecution to come in and meet them whenever they so required. An arrangement was made on Friday for him to do so. He was charged on Friday evening, so there was really no necessity for this display this morning to bring him to court by handcuffs. He is entitled to the presumption of innocence, like everybody who is charged with a criminal offense. Unless you plead guilty, you are entitled to the presumption of innocence until the court finds you guilty. But the duty of the police in this case, like any other case, is to lay the charges, and there is no objection to bail. So why hold him overnight in the cells of the Grenville police station, take him to court this morning in handcuffs, and you go to court, there is no objection to bail. $10,000, one surety, relatively small bail. This is an issue that didn't arise yesterday. This is an issue going back somewhere December 2010. And it's, of course, it's an indictable offense. All indictable offenses are serious offenses. But again, it's not the kind of offense where there is some gang war and therefore one does not want to release the accused because there would be problems in society for one reason or another. And that is certainly a concern. You don't want pre-trial incarceration, keeping somebody in a cell, making a public spectacle, coming to court, bringing them in handcuffs, when it is a relatively straightforward matter. He is cooperating with the police. He says, I'm available anytime you need me. I'm here, they say we need you on Friday afternoon. He comes in on Friday afternoon, he's charged. So there's no other thing to process between Friday and this morning.
So he came into the station. He came into the station on Friday, or they had to
No, arrangements. He came voluntarily. He was waiting for them to call him, and arrangements were made for him to get in on Friday. So there's really absolutely no need at the end of all of this to bring somebody here. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what the outcome of the case will be. There's usually a 48-hour period for holding persons prior to being charged. The police have authority to, upon reasonable suspicion, to hold you for 48 hours. But you don't hold for punishment, you hold for the purpose of investigation. And in this case, there was no need for further investigation because he's already charged on Friday. So why wait until Monday? In a spectacle, he's a former parliamentary representative, and he is a person of standing in the community. And therefore, it is not to say that you want different treatment for different people. But if there is no need to do this, as we contend that there was no need to do it, then why go that route and make that spectacle when there is no objection to bail? Now, you normally hold the person, by the way, if there is an objection to bail. You would hold and bring because the court ultimately determines whether you get bail or not the police.
But is it not a discretion of the police if they choose to put handcuff on an individual who will be considered then, once they are charged with a criminal offense, bring them to court? Is it not a discretion of the police that if they want to put the handcuff or if they choose not to put it?
Well, of course, but that's besides the point. The issue is not the handcuffs. The issue is whether or not the bail can be done. Once you're not objecting to bail is done over the phone, like with everything else. This is not a bail with $1 million, $500,000. This is a meager $10,000 bail with one surety. So what I'm saying is that there is no need to, one, keep him for the entire weekend and then bring him to court in the circumstances of a spectacle. And there is absolutely no need to do so, because the purpose of bail after you are charged is to ensure that you attend court. That is what bail is about. When you are placed on bail, it's not about whether you're guilty or you're not guilty. It's for simply the purpose of attending court. Alright? And they are satisfied that he will attend court. He went in. He made arrangements. He says, listen, I understand that there are charges. There's an intention to lay charges against me. And therefore, here I am. Whenever you need me, I'm here. Okay, 3 o'clock on Friday is convenient to you. I will come in at 3 o'clock on Friday. By 8 o'clock, he's charged.
But I also think probably this is also a benefit of the media, in the sense that if he wasn't brought here, then maybe we have no reason for being here to get his photo and so forth. So don't you think it's a wise idea that he had to be brought before the court so that he will be beneficial to the media?
You better answer that question. That's a very unique line. I haven't heard it as the first time I'm hearing it.
It is also being said that he's fled the country. This Mr. Fullerton fled the country, because you find a lot of people saying that he fled the country, and because he's knowing that charges might be brought against him, that's why he came back into the country on the day in question and then presented himself.
Well, no, the instructions that I have is that he did not flee the country. He was out of the country for some time. He had certain family matters to attend to. But once he understood that there were charges being laid, if he fled and you want to flee, then why come back? He comes back before charges are laid, and he indicates that he's coming back to the relevant authorities, and that he's available whenever they wish to interview him on whatever matters are of concern. So the point I make is a general point. It does not have to do necessarily with Kenrick Fullerton. It's the point I make in relation to every accused person, in relation to the police and keeping people for 48 hours when there is no need to. If you have arrested somebody and you charge them, then unless you are objecting to bail, let them go. You get your bail over the phone and you let them go, because these things, especially because of the political nature, it creates unnecessary tensions. And these are tensions you can do without.
Right, but tell me, are you satisfied with the condition that, because normally, you know, when persons have been granted bail and the sum, then the conditions include where they have to report to the station, but I didn't know how that was added. So I'm just asking if you are satisfied with the condition, the amount that was given in terms of the bail and the condition. It's just
well, conditions would be, passport, and that is not, those are regular conditions. You see, an assessment has to be made as to whether that person will appear. That's the purpose of bail. It's just to ensure that you appear on the next occasion. So, and I don't think anybody, including the prosecution, has any doubt that Mr. Fullerton will appear.
Did you also represent the other guy from Suisse? Japan Jeremiah?
I think Mr. St. Louis.
Mr. St. Louis that represents